And we are back for part 3, I suppose. Okay, get this out of the way. We got ourselves two new recruit slots. These guys that have this icon are generic new boots. They have generic dialogue, but nothing too interesting. I'm going to get nothing but unique characters, so instead we'll be picking up this guy. I will not be picking up this one. I will read for you his biography. When overlooked for the Trojan Horse program, this unit switched from the Machinator sect to the Dissector sect to gain the opportunity to learn more about the human animals. It frequently tries to interrogate captive specimens about their appetites before eviscerating them in experiments that even other Dissector units find illogical, messy, and inefficiently long. Unit requests Trojan Horse conversion in order to savor the biological experience of eating. It also displays extreme fascination with animal cranial regions. Okay, whenever I talk about really liking the backstory of this game, it's not going to be like the stuff I did last time that was covering the Starsiege era. Things like Epimetheus and Prometheus, the way that they're interacting with them, that's kind of interesting. But it's especially the Cybrids, the way that the Cybrids are, because they're not just generic machines. They have their own personalities. They're unique. They're not just mindless, like Prometheus is the only unique one, and the other ones are just throwaway robot things. They're all really weird. They all have these weird little quirks and stuff about them. I'll point out Trojan horses. Remember how in part 2 I went on about the organometric brains? Well, immortal humans have those that have their consciousness stored inside of them. The Trojan horses are Cybrid brains. Like, these things. These are not their brains. These are pilot forms that are inserted inside of war forms. The war form is like the goad that I'm using. Inside the goad would be one of these things, which is the pilot form, and inside the pilot form will be the organometric brain that houses the Cybrid itself. Trojan horse units are whenever they take the organometric brain of the Cybrid and place it inside of a human body. So it's sort of like The Thing, like John Carpenter's The Thing, where there's someone walking around that has all of the experience of the person that it used to be, the person that they carved out his brain and pulled out his brain and shoved it in there. And now he's walking around impersonating this guy. I love that! That's fucking grim. Love their shit. This guy, I don't think their biography... Let's see, hold on. Obsessed with gathering data and animal response, interprets the subjective, requiring constant combat immersions. Commented with hub mates, prefers reactive combat... See, this is as generic as you can get. Primary... Sometimes you'll get these. Primary redactor, concern, objective, attainment, processing, short, impulsive. So he's kind of short-tempered, I guess. They all have their kind of little quirks and stuff. So you want to look out for ones that will say stuff like, you know, will betray his hub mates or some shit like that. Okay, anyways. Sorry, I went up with that too long. Give you something to identify you. I'll give you this. I want to switch this around because they can actually use shield modulators. Because you have to actively change, like, whether it's forward or backwards and so on. Oh, this is why. Hold on. Switch it around here. Okay, there we go. It wasn't showing it because of that. And shield amplifier. That'll do. That'll do, pig. I'll go ahead and rattle off what all these do. This is a jammer that jams anything that seeks up via heat, like missiles. Chameleon cloak. The AI will only use this if you also have one equipped and you are currently using it. Shield modulator, I don't think that they can use this. Although I can't really remember. Shield amplifier just amplifies your shields, so they don't have to actively worry about that. Laser target designator, AI cannot use this. You can, though. You use this to designate for artillery, but only specific missions, so it won't come up this time. Battery just allocates more energy, that way you don't run out quite as much. Energy capacitor is the same thing as a shield capacitor, except it works for energy. I think they don't actually need sensors, but I'll leave that on just in case. I think you can actually completely remove it and save like 0.5 mass, or tons, whatever. An interesting thing to note is that these are all weighed in tons. So apparently this computer weighs 1 ton, and this one weighs half a ton. Don't ask me to explain that. You wouldn't think that by this point in history things would be that big, but whatever. We don't have any new weapons. Sorry guys, you're going to have to deal with the sound of these heavy lasers for quite a while. Laser is just a shitty form of the heavy laser. You kind of put that on whenever you can't mount a heavy laser. Twin lasers, kind of the same thing, kind of intermediate. It's not quite as big of a drop-off as that is. It actually fires 2 lasers at the same time. Nothing really special about that. Blink gun, shut up, Jaycon. He fucking loves this shit. The blink gun targets internals and internals only. It does not affect shields, it does not affect armor. It only affects the internal circuitry of the Herc that you're shooting at. The downside of this is that since it doesn't work in conjunction with any other weapons, if you're going to use this, you pretty much have to use nothing but that. And that means that it takes quite a long time to eat through everything's circuitry. So, not too useful in campaign, but really fucking annoying in multiplayer. Nano Infuser, kind of the same thing, except it really only works when their shields are down. Actually, this is pretty useful in multiplayer. ATC and heavy ATC autocannons, these eat through armor like a bitch. But again, sustained fire weapons aren't that great. And also, if you have a whole bunch of them, oh, holy shit, they make a racket. Every one of these weapons, I know you're complaining about the heavy lasers, but every one of them just is the loudest, most obnoxious thing ever. Electromag autocannons. These are great. I love these. These aren't too annoying, actually, but you kind of need their shields to be down. And we don't have imps yet. Everything revolves around imps in this game, which I'll explain later, but for now, let's just say we don't use it. Everything else is missiles. Missiles. Some of them are thermal-based, some of them are ECM-based, and these actually seek out by crawling around on the ground. Those are pretty neat. They're super cute. Okay. Done with him. I've got nothing unlocked for him. I will show you these 2 new things. You can read those if you want. This is the war timeline. I'm not going to go through all of these. But there's a lot of, there's so much shit. But this basically is the summarization of these things. That's what that is. Oh, I'll tell you what. At the end of this, my little pumpernickels, I will go back and I will rattle all these off. But for now, briefing.
Giver of will. Human animals on First World must not be permitted to warn Third World of our presence. Destroyer of Animal 7th. Destroy animal communications devices in Sector 2012. After devices are destroyed, you will be directed to extraction coordinates. Nexus Prime will relay directives from Mobile Nexus Zeta 0103.
How nice of it.
Acknowledge. Submit.
No problem. We are still, this is our rank, Destroyer of Animals 7th. We are still 7th. Okay. You can tell from the way that I'm talking, there is so much shit to go over in this game. It's such a simple game, though. Okay, I figured out a new way of recording, so hopefully this will work. Otherwise, I'm going to be fucked. Should work, but if it doesn't, may as well just be rubbing my man marbles all over the monitor. But as you can see, we have our new little buddy with us. Hey, little guy. Let's get started. And there goes our Nexus, being an unhelpful fuck. Vanishing over the horizon to go find himself some more hamburgers to jam down his throat. This is the way that it wants you to go. You can actually go this way and come up from behind, but I wouldn't really recommend it. I'll allow these rocks to live for now, but they could be dangerous in the future. You can come up behind them, but I wouldn't really recommend it, because there's going to be 2 patrols that you're going to be fighting, and if you come up this way, they'll at least be split up. Whereas if you go that way, you run the risk, because I tried it. That did not go well. Let's just say that if you go over that ridge, your anus is going to find out why they're called Minotaurs and Talons. Okay, but our mission is to destroy these shooting buildings, I know. Shooting buildings. They are. This is the nice thing about these guys. They're just so loving and supporting, and they love eviscerating the human-animal menace. They're just great people all around. Not that I ever get tired of exterminating humans, but they really break up the monotony of it. But again, it's just destroying buildings. It's super exciting, you guys. By the way, there are people outside on the porch talking right next to my fucking window while I'm trying to record. There's dogs barking right next to them as a result. Also, there just so happens to be a thunderstorm going on at this very moment. And also, there might be the sounds of gunfire and You know, the things that sound sort of like people being dragged off into the woods for miscellaneous reasons, but it's not what that is. Come on, guys. Haha, you're so silly. Okay. These guys have nothing but autocannons equipped at the moment, so they're not really much of a threat. I'm not going to... Wow! That was really... Good job, man. Damn. Holy reactor criticals, Batman. Jeez. I think I really fucked them up. I've gotten so used to playing all these solo, like I never pick up recruits, and I'm always surprised how fucking easy these missions are, if you ever actually use teammates. Okay, we... Get away, dude. This is the threat. See these fucking balls that he's shooting out? Anything that shoots balls at you, kids, be very wary of. These are imps. Remember how I said that the game kind of revolves completely around these? I'll explain a little bit more of that later. Might as well... There. Put it to tracking him. No, 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 leave him alone. Leave him alone. Me, no, 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 me. Pay attention to me. Oh, God, he won't... Ugh. Oh, this is my childhood all over again. God damn it. The AI can die very, very easily. Come on, come on, come on. Ah, good, okay. Now that he's out of the way, I don't have to worry so much. Because imps absolutely obliterate your shields. And shields mean everything in this game. Armor, not so much. It's not like MechWarrior, where you'll spend, you know, several minutes eating through someone's armor. They aren't very different from insects, you're right. Except that they can manufacture war machines and create a machine god that'll eventually become our father. Other than that, they're just like insects. But once you get, see? Once you get their shields down, that's pretty much it. All you have to do is get 1 or 2 good hits in after that, and their reactor will blow, or they'll lose a leg, or any number of things. So basically, once we have access to larger warforms and more technology, everything is going... All of our configurations will look something like 2 or 3 imps with 1 really big, probably energy-based weapon. Even though... Lock warning. Oh, lock warning. See, this paladin must be mounted with nothing but, yep, missiles. We're not shooting the cripple, we're shooting the kill. See, Eats Only Heads wants us to cripple them so that he can eat their heads. Which you, unfortunately, do not get to see in the game. The funny thing about this, since he's so close to me, he can't actually hit me with those missiles. But I guarantee you, if he could... Ugh. If he could, then it would present a very big problem to us. Attack this. Using this method, we can maximize our building shooting DPS. The hypest building-based combat in YouTube. Here, attack this, I'll attack this. And even though this is such a simple game, there's a lot of shit to track. Let's see. Whenever you're shooting things with your laser beams, you'll notice the energy bar fills up to, you know, 100%, but you can fire. So you can fire around 90%. Like before this, I'm mashing the fire button, it doesn't work. But whenever you fire around 90%, there's a very large damage drop off. Acknowledge submitted. Ugh, but whenever you do that, you lose a lot of damage. So what you want to do is actually wait until the very split second when it actually fills up to 100% exactly. Then fire to maximize your DPS. Human animals are fascinating. But that's obviously something that you don't have to worry about if you're using something that uses ammunition. But you also have to keep track of your energy. I think during the fight you could see that my energy actually dropped off enough for my HUD to go off. Because everything operates on energy. how fast you move even, how fast your weapons are filling back up, how much damage your weapons do, how fast your shields are filling back up, which I'll mod my things back down. And of course, once you lose out on your energy, everything just stops working. Oh, what's that? What's that? Oh, okay, that's my guy. Huh. I forgot that he did that. I thought that was a human dropship coming in. What if he's going to land? The scripting in this was actually kind of complicated in some missions. Whereas in some other missions, you can tell that they just ran out of time. They just really didn't give a shit. I appreciate that. It's nice of them. That it actually left, and then it came back and... Actually, I guess this isn't the same one. That was a mobile Nexus, whereas this one is just a drop ship. Yeah. Okay, he did land. That's nice. Oh, that's so pleasant. 1999, guys. Really love that. But in addition to that, you can also worry about the radar and the shit going off. Plus, you also have to worry about targeting your enemy in the right spots, keeping your shields modulated correctly, especially in a big fight where you have like 2 or more enemies shooting you in the ass and just filling your butt full of heavy autocannons and so on. So there ends up being a shit ton of fuck to track. Shit tons of fuck, guy. Okay, but this will be the end of this particular mission. Oh, Lord. I've been doing nothing but animating today, aside from the other shit that I mentioned. So that's the reason I'm so tired. Just finish uploading something for Matt. Fuck Matt. Fuck him. Mission successful. Okay. Give me that sweet Cybrid music.
The core directive proceeds efficiently. The human animals are silenced. Conclusion. By the time they establish regained communications, it will be too late. In recognition of your efficiency, your rank has been upgraded. Destroyer of Animals 6. Your hub will recognize your worth.
My hub is actually just 2 guys right now, but thanks. Okay, yay! Senpai noticed me. As you can notice, we now have new technology, new weapons, yay! Unfortunately, as annoying as these are, blasters are even worse. Guess what I'm going to be using next time? But first, we're going to do what I know you've all been aching to see. And grab Plague Dog. Oh yes, Plague Dog. No, I did not get my name from this guy. Although I did... Plague is where I got the name Plague in Starsiege because of kind of the way that I play. Whenever I was first learning, the people that were trying to train me basically said that I was just really fucking annoying despite not knowing what the hell I was doing at the time. So that's kind of where I got my name from, and I've just kind of carried it with me ever since. But I didn't get it from this guy, although people ended up mistaking me for that sort of thing the whole time. Okay, affiliation none null. Characterized by random actions and comments. Although it loyally carries out implementation and obeys the protocols, it does so in a substantially non-linear manner. It seems more loyal to its hubmates than to the core directive, the assemblage, or even to Giver of Will. Random behaviors and processing are blamed on human attempts to reprogram the unit before returning it to Cybrid space on a garbage rocket. Unit is extremely aggressive towards trees, human orphanages, commercial interruptions, and its own reflection. Huh. Primary redactor concern, unit statement. This is... The primary concern is this one statement of, asparagus spies live magus, trust no armlessly smiling sheep, ghost spit dingo, spleen? Well, I guess that would be concerning, wouldn't it? But if that doesn't make any sense to you, as soon as we have him inside of a mission, it definitely will. That's for fucking sure. Let's give him... Yes, I know you were screaming for it, but... Nah, I think I'll save you for later. I'll give him this, because it seems the silliest. That'll make him instantly recognizable, too. Let's go ahead and outfit him for next time, I guess. Get rid of that. I'm kind of running out of, materials to use for these guys, though. I guess I'll equip him with a thermal. Why not? I don't think we even have to worry about it yet. No new armor. Actually, I think the only thing new that we actually got were blasters, so let's go ahead and throw those on. These are cache weapons. These are things that were... In the human campaign, these were found under Mars. And, the colonists that lived on Mars, this was the only way that they could fight back against the Empire. These are actually of alien origin. There's really nothing really that special about them in terms of game balance. But as far as the universe is concerned, these are really fucking powerful. The Cybrids also found some. I think they found them under Pluto. I can't remember. Is either Pluto is one of the outer planets. But anyways, we'll be using that next time. But I'll save that for then. I'll go ahead and show you this just to get out of the way. Again, pause at your leisure. And I'll go ahead and go through all of these just to get this out of the way. Again, you can pause and read these if you want. All of these are really interesting, but I'm not going to spend an hour just going through and reading every single one of these. I know some of you really liked the fact that I was reading the last episode. Some of you didn't really seem to enjoy it that much. I know some of you were not particularly impressed with the lore so far, but it seems like most of you thought it was pretty interesting. Again, like I said before, a lot of this is not going to be especially interesting in terms of the historical notes. And that's kind of true of, like, even real history. It's not the dates and events that are interesting, it's the human elements, the tiny little stories that are going on in the background. But I agree that the big evil machine god thing, that part's generic. It's the small things that are interesting. And there's obviously lots of things that Blake Hutchins kind of either lifted or used as, you know, he either nodded or just straight up stole it. I have no idea what I'm going. But he obviously... Oh, that one scrolls. He obviously took from that. It's the little things that I find most interesting. Specifically how the Cybrids operate. The kind of little quirks that all of them have with one another. How they interact. That, to me, is more interesting than anything else. In the human campaign, which I'll probably never actually get to it. But in the human campaign, also, the interaction specifically between Kanan and his brother Harabek and things like that. That's also interesting. It's kind of a running thing with a lot of... I think I'll go ahead and read this. But that's a running thing with a lot of narratives. A lot of the times it's not the overall thing that's interesting, it's the very small details. Okay. I'm not going to be picking this guy up, but I will read his shit. This has expressed concern regarding extinction of the human animals because no other potential opponents appear readily available. Refuses to acknowledge heretic descent. Considers all Cybrid part of the same universal hub. Burns exemplar sigil onto human targets whenever logistically possible in order to assist in recording sect efficiency. Again, sect are things like redactors and machinators and dissectors and so on. I will not be picking this guy up. One, because we have Corinthian Blue that's going to be coming in later, which is going to be another guy. And also because of this, primary redactor concern. Possibility may refuse to pursue defective renegade metagen units. Metagens are rogue Cybrids. Their individuality has gone a little bit too far. And they are basically fucking things up for the rest of Cybrids because they want to be friends with the humans. So obviously we need to kill these as quickly as possible. So we can't have any other Cybrids that are fucking this up for us. Because fuck those guys, seriously. He does have the right idea, branding them and so on. That's one of the things about metagens. People think that they're just kind of the hippie Cybrids. But they're really not. I mean, they hate humans too. It's just, they think that conquering humanity is not important. They just want to leave the solar system. As far as they're concerned, their dealings with humanity, it's just done. They think that Prometheus is basically just going shit off his rocker, wanting to kill Epimetheus just because. Because think about it, why the hell is he even doing it? As far as the metagens are concerned, they're like, man, Prometheus, Dad, seriously, I know you want to kill your father, but who doesn't, am I right? But, we got other shit we want to get done. But anyways, I will see you guys in part 4. Don't kill your fathers until then. Come on back now, you hear?